Hello and welcome everyone, this is Type V3 and let's punch through the atmosphere with SH Figuarts' Kamen Rider Meteor, or Meteor if you prefer. Is this release set to be a star or will it just crash and burn? Well, just be patient because soon we'll find out as I decide on this figure's fate. If there's one thing that the Figuarts line has always been successful at with their Kamen Rider figures, it's that all of them look stellar, and Meteor is no exception. In fact, I'd even say that he looks the best among them all. The proportions are pretty spot on to the suit actor's costume, with the only differences being that this figure has a slightly smaller waist and shoulder pads. Then there's the clear blue plastic used on both his head and shoulder guard. It just looks fantastic, especially on his face, although I do wish it were a little more transparent so that his red compound eyes could give much more of a presence. The rest of Meteor is covered in a wonderful glossy black paint with plenty of silver accents. Even the Meteor driver and the Meteor Galaxy accessories were given the same level of detail as the figure. It's impressive considering their small size, and even the minuscule Meteor switch is also made from a clear blue plastic material. Oh, and those stars and lines that cover the majority of his suit isn't just painted on. They're molded in, like little divots. It's pretty neat. However, this does lead to one unfortunate problem. A white paint wash was used in order to fill them in, and as a result, some leftover residue is on the figure. In my example, you can clearly see brighter white patches on his lower thigh seams. They really should have tightened quality control with this one. Articulation is pretty great on Meteor. The head is on this awesome, sweet ball joint at the top and bottom of the neck. The shoulders are great. They don't have the shoulder armor that comes up. They kind of just have I guess a sort of hinge there and come up here. There's a bicep swivel, double jointed elbows, the wrists are great, and even on this arm you'd think that this shoulder pad would get in the way, but it actually doesn't. I mean, there are certain things you can't do, but for the most part it doesn't impede articulation that much. Now, the only issue I have is his waist. It just doesn't move as much as I want it to, and the crunch is even less so. It's kind of disappointing. I have a feeling it's due to the way this pad was designed, but oh well. The belt is on a separate piece. Of course, there's the pull-down hips that all Figuarts tend to have, and they're really, you can really pull them down. Double-jointed knees, of course, and awesome ankles that swivel, they rock, and a toe joint that's, well, I don't know if anyone can actually bend their toe that way, but in some situations I have been able to use it, but because he doesn't have die-cast feet, his balance is a little off when you try to use just that toe joint. But overall, I gotta say, articulation on this thing is fantastic. I absolutely love it. Now, Meteor is a rider who mainly utilizes martial arts, so you'd be correct in assuming that he doesn't come with many accessories. What you do get, though, are a lot of hands, and they've all got painted details. First, there's his fist for punching, some calm open palms for when he's just zoning off into space, the thumbs up hand so you can recreate his iconic entrance pose, and lastly, my favorite, the Kung Fu hands. These, in combination with Meteor's excellent articulation, can make for some awesome poses. He also comes with a left-hand-only pointing finger, which in fact isn't a pointing finger at all. Its purpose is for when Ryusei presses on the Meteor Galaxy to perform a limit break. You even get a swappable driver and Galaxy to display that the Meteor switch has been moved from one to the other. It's a super small detail that I don't think needed to be represented, but I'll take it anyways. And finally, two versions of the Food Roid Flash Shake are included. One in food mode and the other is in Roid form. Now, while these accessories look great, Meteor can't actually hold them. The closest you'll get is trying to balance them on Ryusei's open palms, but even that can be quite tricky. As a whole, Meteor comes with a decent amount of accessories, but I'm questioning the absence of a Jupiter or even Mars limit break effect part. I would have gladly dropped the replacement driver, Galaxy, and even the open palms just to have gotten one of those planets instead. Seems like a real missed opportunity in my opinion. So then, with all that's been said and done, what's the fate of SH Figuarts' Kamen Rider Meteor? Well, I think he just narrowly manages to be worth the $30 that he retails for. The base figure really is one of the best I've seen in the 6-inch scale, despite the poor QC issues with the paint. I don't think that any one of the accessories are truly magnificent, except of course if you like food roids, but there are enough extras in the box so you won't feel ripped off. Still, the lack of a limit break effect part upsets me. Here's the thing, if you're only interested in Ryusei himself or just like his design, then go and grab him because you won't regret it. On the other hand, if you're just looking for a rider with a great overall package, and don't mind so much as to what he looks like, then go with Fourze, because you do get a little more for the same amount of money. Personally, Kamen Rider Meteor is one of my favorite rider designs, if not my favorite rider in general, and that's the sole reason I picked him up. Anyways, this has been Type V3. Thanks for watching, but now you're probably wondering about Meteor's other form. Well, we don't talk about that ridiculous yellow and blue Beyblade wielding fool around these parts of the galaxy, so I doubt you'll ever see his appearance on this channel.